All right, everyone. Welcome to another Tech Tuesday. This is Karamoko, or Coach Kane, if you will. Today we'll be talking about some more KvCore, and I promise next Tech Tuesday I have some really exciting stuff coming up, but I just wanted to cover all of the amazing features KvCore has to offer, as it's free for those of us who are with EXP. I assume it's free for people who have access to it but are in different brokerages too. And it's a very important tool because it's like a personal assistant that works for you 24/7, and you don't have to lift a finger, maybe initially, and then you just let it do its thing. Of course, as we go through this meeting, feel free to interrupt me at any time with any questions. Drop anything in the chat. I'll be stopping periodically to check that. And if I don't know the answer to the question, we will find out together in the next Tech Tuesday. Of course, I try to mention at the beginning of every single one of these, you can always go to the YouTube channel in case you don't have time to watch all of this or you miss it altogether. I upload all of our Tech Tuesdays on this website. You can go back to these anytime, free of charge. It's all yours. And I will drop the link to this in the chat right now for you to paste or save onto your phone. Awesome. So there's that YouTube link. All right. So today I want to talk about the last, well, I don't want to say the last, but the last three amazing features KvCore has to offer as a part of this series. I think it's been 4 Tech Tuesdays or 3 maybe since we've been talking about KvCore, and we've pretty much covered a lot of the core functionalities. All of those are, of course, documented and recorded in the channel. And this is the last 3 things I really want to show and teach you guys how to use, as they are very important lead generation tools. So the place you will find those are under the lead engine section of KvCore. If you go ahead and open up your KvCore, just drop down here and you can click on that button. It'll take you to this page right here that says lead engine. Okay, the features we'll be talking about today are these top 4 right here. So we'll be talking about what a landing page is. We'll be talking about what a squeeze page is, what the call and text capture functionality looks like, and very briefly touch on what a pitch sheet is and how you can use that in KvCore. I've touched on landing pages and squeeze pages a little bit in earlier Tech Tuesdays, but not in depth. So today I want to make sure that I really go into those topics in detail so you know the power of using those to generate leads. Okay, and of course, remember, ask me a question anytime or drop anything in the chat if I'm going too fast. So once you get to the lead engine page, we're going to start with the landing page. And landing pages and squeeze pages are very, very similar. It's like trying to describe the difference between cupcakes and muffins. I still don't know what the difference is, but they're almost the same thing with some key differences. So a landing page is basically a page on your website that solely exists to capture visitors' information. And the way it's structured is, imagine it as a billboard. It just has the product you're offering and a call to action. Maybe call this number, put your email here, or put your phone number here. And the visitors only have the option to provide that information or not. They don't have anywhere else to go on said page. So it's just like a poster with the information you're trying to provide or the service you're offering, and a call to action button. We'll go through each of these, but I just want to explain what they are as a, in a broad overview. And then the squeeze page, very similar to a landing page. It's also a page you have on your website where you can funnel people to from social media or elsewhere. Let's go ahead and admit people. Some more people are joining. All right, welcome Raquel. So a squeeze page is just like a landing page. Its purpose is to collect visitors' information so that you can market to them later. But the difference is, on a squeeze page, you provide some type of a piece of the content the visitor is looking for. For instance, you can compile a list of the 10 most expensive properties in LA County, for example. And when people click on that link to find out what those 10 properties are, just out of curiosity, or maybe they're into the luxury market, a squeeze page will let them see maybe 1 or 2 or 3 or 4, and that's whatever you choose. And when they try to see the rest of that information, it asks for them to log in. So the main difference between a landing page and a squeeze page is a squeeze page will offer some of the information. And if you want everything, you must, sign up or give some type of information. Whereas a landing page is just there to advertise or show a specific service or product that you have to offer. And they can either call or provide a certain information or just bounce off the page with no, exchange of value whatsoever. So on a broad scale, if you will, this is what the difference is between these two. And KvCore lets you build both of these. Okay, so you can use them how you prefer. Maybe some days you can build squeeze pages and other days you can build landing pages. So we're going to start off by talking about landing page, and we'll actually build a few. I'll go through the building process. So once you are in the lead engine section, we're going to click on the landing page section under this text field. Once you click on it, it should already have your EXP or your KvCore website. So whatever brokerage you have, it'll probably be your first and last name .yourbrokerage.com. If you're with EXP, it'll look something like this. As you can see, it's my first name, last name .exprealty.com. If you click on here and for some reason nothing populates down here, you can always type it in manually. And the way you find out what your KvCore website is by going to the top right here where it says your first name, and then your website will actually be listed down there, okay, right under your broker email address. So you would just type this in right here, but it should automatically fill in for you. So once you click on that section, just go ahead and click on your website. Oop. And then it'll populate. So you know you're ready to go when it's highlighted like this with a little X next to it. So this is the website where the landing page will be created. You will have multiple options here if you're part of a team. Maybe you can build that landing page on your team website, or you could just build it on your personal website. Okay, so I'm not in a team, I work as myself. So the only website that will display here is my personal website. So I'm going to click on this. And once I have that highlighted, we can start building a landing page. So I'll click on the blue button right here. So that'll take me to a separate web page that looks like this at first. So KvCore will take you here, and what you're looking at right now is a template landing page that you can customize. The functionality is the things you can do are very limited. You can't move around any text. You can't add any extra text sections. You can just edit the text you see in front of you. And KvCore has multiple different templates for you to use. If you could build a landing page that's geared towards lead generation, or maybe you want to generate leads, but also show a video to encourage them to sign in. Let's see. If I click on that, it'll change the template to this. and then you can add your own video on here. You can also go to video plus lead. Maybe you want to see a video and also collect, lead information such as email and cell phone. Do we have a question? I think somebody forgot to mute their mic. All right. So we're going to get started with lead generation at the top right here. Okay. We'll click through each of these very shortly, but this is going to be the main one you probably will be using. So this is the landing page construction page, if you will. Once you are on this page, typically landing pages will have, like I said, the service you offer or the product you're trying to offer. And you can have reasons why they should sign up, under here. So this template says your town real estate deals, free weekly list of hot buys in and around your town. So already people know they're signing up for a weekly list of hot buys, next to them. And you can have different sections down here, up to 4. You can't add any extra, but you can remove them though. So you can have, more information about what you're offering them. This particular template says, you can get notified with drastic price reductions, fixer-uppers, daily, weekly updates, distressed properties, et cetera, et cetera. And you have information, more information about those bullet points below. So if I go ahead and click on any of these text fields right here, I can actually change this. Okay. So let's actually get started with the title right here. So we could say your free market report. So let's say we're building a landing page to offer a free market report in exchange for the visitor's contact. So once they click on the link, which will get generated after we build this up, they will get greeted with this page and it'll say your free market report. And down here, we can have a subtitle says, by the way, when you double click on any of these fields, it removes it. And unfortunately, there's not a way to undo. So if this happens, you have to refresh the page and it will reset everything. So be careful when building this. It's, I don't know why it's built this way. It could be a little frustrating after you've done all your work and you delete something by mistake, you would have to start over. So do keep that in mind. So I'm gonna have to retype what I just did there. Your free market report. I'll try my best not to delete. And again, the way you delete a section is by double clicking it. So don't, double click on anything if you don't want to delete it. And then under here, I'm going to edit this text. We could say free weekly report of the market condition in your area. If that makes sense, I think so. And boom. So when they get on this page, they'll see your free market report, free weekly report of the market condition in your area. And we can have different bullet points of what they can expect to see in that market report. I'm just going to leave these. I think they're fine just for the sake of this live stream and example. But you can go ahead and just change all of this up to whatever you like. It does not have to stay like this. And everywhere you see text, as far as this middle section right here, from your free market report all the way to the wallpaper, you can basically edit all of that stuff. So I'm going to leave all this in. And then down here, this is where they will provide their email and their cell phone. So you can make this a required field or an optional field by looking at the bar up top here. Okay, so we're going to go through these each one by one. So right here is where you can change the template of, the landing page you're trying to build. So we are currently set on the lead generation template. Okay, and right here, the hashtag section, this is an optional field. But what this means is anyone that goes on your landing page after you built it up and, shared it, anyone who visits this page and actually fills out this form they will get attributed whatever hashtag you put on here. So let's say we're publicizing, or at least we're advertising this landing page on our Facebook, account, on our Facebook page. So I could put Facebook dash landing page. So anyone that fills out this form, when they get added to my database with their email and phone number, they will also have this hashtag added to their contact. So if I want to go on my CRM later and just market specifically to these people who have signed up through this link, I can search them by typing this hashtag into my search bar, and it will show all those people. So it's a cool way to seclude or isolate people you have, acquired into your database separately. So it's a really cool way to divide that people in the hashtag sections. And then next up here, we have a submit button text. So whatever I put on here is what you see on this button. So let's say instead of see the list, because we're not giving out a list, we're giving out a market report. We could say maybe subscribe to a market report. Let's say subscribe, if I can type. All right, there you go. So whatever I type in here is what's going to show on the button. So you can customize this to your liking based on what you are trying to sell or offer. So you can have subscribe on here. And then the next field right here refers to the link you want them to get redirected to after they click on the button right here. Okay. By default, it says optional. That's because if you don't put anything on there, they will just get taken to the home page of your KvCore website. But if you have a specific link right here, they will get taken there after they click on the subscribe button. This could be whatever you want. It could be your Facebook page. It could be your KvCore website. It could be Pinterest, Twitter, your personal website, anything you want it to be. So just to fill this up, we're just going to put my personal website, which is myname.com. And when they click on this button, it'll just take them to that website. If we wanted to actually offer them a free market report, we can have them, provide, take them to a link that has them provide that, their address or whatever, and then we can automatically enroll them in a free market report using Smart Campaigns. We've touched on Smart Campaigns. I think it was a previous Tech Tuesday. So if you haven't seen that, I highly encourage you to check that out. It's really important you know how to use those. It'll automate a lot of the follow-up and marketing for you. So it's pretty cool. So yeah, this field right here is the link they will get taken to after they click on the action button. Now we have a checkbox right here that says require phone. So when this is checked, they will have to put something under the cell phone field in order to click on the subscribe button. If this is not checked, they don't have to. It's an optional field. They could just put the email, but the email is always mandatory, okay? So you don't have to worry about them just pressing subscribe without providing something. Next up, you have the background button. So if I go ahead and click here, you can change the, the image as you see back here. So I could do map, I could do kitchen, really cool stuff. And you can even do, if you scroll all the way down here, you could do custom backgrounds. When you click on that, you could put the link to an image you want to display back here. It would be much easier if they had an upload button, so you could upload your own image, but they do not. Maybe as far as now, at least, maybe in the future. But that's an option if you have the URL to an image. Let's see, and the other one right here, primary MLS image. So if you go ahead and click on that, you can put the MLS ID for a listing that you might have that you're promoting. And maybe this landing page could be about check out the top listing in your neighborhood right now. And once they click on it, they would have to provide their email and phone number to see it. And in the background, you can have the first image. I think it'll be the first image you have on your uploaded on your MLS for that listing. So it'll put that as the background, which is pretty cool. And yeah, you have plenty of other basic options that you could choose from, even some videos right here. Okay. And then next up, you have a lead type button. If you click on that, you can choose what kind of clients or prospects, who are you trying to attract with this landing page. It could be for buyers, sellers, renters, vendors, or you could just put none, and there will not be anything that KvCore will put in that field. But it's good to know to put something in here. That way you can separate everyone who's a seller from everyone who's a buyer from everyone who's a renter. And it's a good way to classify or categorize the contacts in your CRM. So once you have all of this built up, you have all of these fields, filled in adequately, you can go ahead and press save. Actually, before I do that, down here, you can also edit this text. Okay, you can make this whatever you want it to be. They just have, if you enter your cell number, we promise to only send interesting, relevant real estate information. And that's a pretty cool thing to say. That way they know they won't get bombarded with a bunch of stuff. But you can have this be whatever you want. And remember, if you want to delete a whole section altogether, you could just double click on it and then it just goes away. But don't forget, if you remove something, you can't put it back unless you refresh the whole page. And by doing so, you lose all the progress you've made. So be wary of that. So once we have completed our landing page, I'm going to go ahead and press save at the top right here. One last thing before I press save, if you need help, as far as how all of this works, they have a pretty cool article. Once you click on this button, it'll take you step by step into what each of these buttons are. Pretty much what I've just explained, but from the KvCore team. And they have videos and everything like that on when you press this link. So that's pretty cool. Let's require the phone, and then we're going to save. And it will give you this pop-up right here. You are not able to come back to this and actually edit it. Once you create a landing page, it's just the way it is. You can't, come back to it and change things up. You would have to create a whole new one and have a whole new link to then go ahead and share. Okay, so know that whenever you share this, you cannot change it. So I'm going to go ahead and press OK. And then what's going to happen is KvCore is going to reload the page and actually take me to the landing page. So this right here is what everyone will see when they click on the link that we're about to get. Let's see. Yes, Melissa, you can create multiple landing pages. The thing is, once you create this link is good forever. Okay, you can just share this link, and KvCore has I'll show you that. KvCore has a section where you can see past landing pages you've built, and then you can just click on those and copy the link and send them out to everyone. So yes, you can have multiple landing pages. Okay. So yeah, once you click save, it'll take you to your landing page. And a really cool feature that'll save you a lot of time is this green button at the top left right here. If you click on that, it'll open up some quick links to Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, and Pinterest. I don't use, I want to get into Twitter and more so LinkedIn and Pinterest. I mainly use Facebook, but these links right here, once you click on them, we'll do Facebook first. It'll take you to the Facebook page. It might open a new tab for you. It actually never did this for me, but it will open a new tab and sign you into Facebook. If you're not signed in, it'll ask you for your Facebook credentials. But once you pop that in, it'll automatically put the post on there for you with the thumbnail. This is the background we chose. And as you can see up here, this is my KvCore website. And remember, the title says your free market report. And that's what they will see on here. Free weekly report of the market conditions in your area, just like we wrote down right here. You can add more text to it. You can, do what you usually do when you post things. And for those of you guys who don't have Facebook business accounts, I encourage you to have one. It looks more professional. You can only post real estate stuff there. And yeah, it makes you more credible as a business. Well, you own your own business, you work for yourself. So try and create a business account instead of using your personal account.
So when you say create a business account, do you mean that register your any
Yeah,
company, or just create a name? What do you
yeah.
suggest?
On Facebook, you can create. I shouldn't have said business account. I mean, page. Okay, Facebook. I think they used to call them business accounts, but you can create a separate page that you can call whatever you want, and upload its own photos and videos and everything. It will be linked to your personal accounts if you choose to do so. But you can create a separate page, if you will, or a separate profile that's solely for your real estate business. And that's what I mean by business account. Did that answer your question? Maybe.
Yes, thank you.
Okay, for sure. So yeah, your personal account would work, but I just recommend creating, something for your real estate business to only have real estate stuff. It's more professional.
Does it look
Mhm.
different if you have a business page? Does it look different from your regular page?
No, instead of me right here, it'll just be, my business account's logo.
Oh,
So
okay.
yeah, and there you go. So if you do have a business or a Facebook page, if you click on here, I believe this is how you switch to that. You can share on a page that you manage. If I click here, I don't know if I'm signed in, but there it is. These are my pages, KvCore Homes, and then I would choose this. And now this will get posted to my Facebook page instead of my personal page. And the really cool thing is Facebook is connected to Instagram and vice versa. So you can have a lot of the posts that you do in one place actually post in another platform. So you kill two birds with one stone. So that's why I mainly try to focus on Instagram and Facebook, because all the work I do in one directly translates to the other, which is pretty cool stuff. So
Does
yeah,
it automatically get posted? Like if you do it in Facebook, does it automatically get posted on Instagram? Or do you have to do
there,
something?
yeah, on Instagram, you have to do something. And on Facebook, there's you got to go in the settings somewhere and enable that. Otherwise, you would have to select that option every time you make a post. If you do it this way, it doesn't give you that option. But if you post something within Facebook, you have the option to do that at some point during the process.
Oh, cool.
Yep. So yeah, that's how you do that. You remember I clicked on the top button right here. You could press on share on a page you manage, and then it'll show you all the pages you have. This is the one in question for my real estate business. And you can write extra text, and then the post is already here for you. Okay. And you could post to the feed or the story. So if you have a Facebook page, I don't think pages have I don't know why this is not highlighted, but pages also should have stories and feeds, but maybe through this link, you can only do it as a regular post. But regardless, once you have everything on here, you could just press post to Facebook and there it will go. You will have a brand new post for the whole world to see, and they'll know to come to this link for a free market report. Okay. Same thing.
Wait.
I'm going to close this.
What's
Question?
the difference between a feed and a story?
The feed is what you see when you're just scrolling, on Facebook, when you see pictures of your friends and then a random video, the endless scrolling thing. That's the feed. The story is when you tap on someone and you can see what they've been doing in the last 24 hours.
Gotcha.
Yeah, they have like a little bubble around their icon. So that's the difference. Any questions before I move on? Anything, interrupt me at any time or put stuff in the chat so I can get back to them, okay? Okay. So just like we did Facebook, you could do the same for Twitter, LinkedIn, and Pinterest. I think I'm logged into Twitter. So if you click on this, there you go. So I'm already logged in here. I don't know if Twitter has a business thing you could do, but it doesn't hurt to share as yourself too, because you are your business after all. So what Twitter is going to do is just create a link to this page instead of the nice thumbnail Facebook has. And you can add some extra text and make it look nice like you want. And then you could tweet, and anyone on your Twitter can see this and come and, check out this awesome market report we have to offer. Okay, so I'm going to close this too. Same thing with LinkedIn and Pinterest. So once they get here, remember, landing pages do not have any other option. As you can see, this is my website right now, my name.axp.com, but there is no other thing they can do. They just get greeted with this. They know what we're offering, and they can either provide their info and subscribe or just close the page. Okay, it kind of forces them to be in your database or not. So this is how you create a landing page. So I'm going to close this. Also, don't forget, you can just copy this link that you're on right here and just paste on other social medias that you don't see up here. Or maybe you want to share this through a mass marketing, email thing. You can do so by copying this link right here. If you close this page and you forget to copy the link, you can always come back to KvCore right here. Go back to your lead engine. And then you're going to scroll down to landing pages, and you're going to click on past landing pages. If I click here, this will show you all the landing pages you've built. So this is what we've just done. This is today. And remember, we chose lead generation. So from here, you could just press copy link, and then that link will be copied. You could paste it elsewhere, or you could click view, and it will take you there once more. And from here, you can perform the actions we've just done. Okay, so that's how you get back to your landing pages. And down here, like I think Melissa was asking, these are, you could create as many as you want. And you can track how many people have viewed them by, going to the view section and all the hashtags you've added to said landing pages. So you can categorize who comes from where or how you want them to be categorized. Now we're going to go back. We are done with landing pages. Are there any questions about landing pages before we go to the squeeze pages? Did any of that make sense? Hopefully.
Yes, it did.
Yeah,
Thank you.
it makes sense. I'll
Thank
still
you,
have
thank you.
questions, but it makes sense.
Yeah, for
No, I'm just,
sure.
I know I'll have questions.
No problem. Just let me know at any time. Before we move on to squeeze pages, just more examples of landing pages could be, maybe you're just targeting first-time home buyers. So you can have, a landing page that provides cool tips for first-time home buyers. And anyone who's a first-time home buyer will click on the link, provide their email, and boom, you can add them to an email marketing thing that gives them 3 cool tips for buying your new house every week. You could make stuff for, veterans. You can make stuff for nurses. The sky's the limit. Try to be niche, because you don't want to build a landing page that's too broad either, because then you capture no one. Typically, when you do these marketing things, when you do any type of marketing, you want to own in on a specific type of clients. Maybe just first-time home buyers, just foreclosures, just something, so that when they see that, they know it's geared towards them, and there's a higher chance for them to convert into clients or prospects. But the more broad you are, it's just going to be like the regular old post, and you're less likely to generate any traffic to your link. Okay, so build a landing page with something specific in mind, which will help a lot. Now we're going to do squeeze pages. Remember, like I said, these things are so similar. It's like cupcakes and the other thing. Cupcakes and muffins. There you go. I don't know the difference between them, but it's the same. Does anyone here know the difference between cupcakes and muffins? I've been thinking about this the whole day.
I think it's just a cream topping. If you decorate it, if there's an icing, it's a cupcake. If no icing, then it's a muffin.
But if you put the icing on the muffin, then you get a cupcake.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, they're similar in that sense. So the icing on the cupcake or muffin, I don't know which one has which anymore. But the squeeze page Just like on the landing page, you will get the option to choose a website. And again, this will be your personal KvCore website or a team website that you have, which would still be under, your brokerage. So it could be, instead of KvCore Kane, maybe KvCore team.exp.com. And you will select that. It'll highlight it in this way, and it will start building a squeeze page by clicking the blue button. So we're just going to focus mainly on multi-property. I don't know why KvCore has, market report and seller squeeze here. I'll go through why that is. But remember, a squeeze page, the difference between landing page and squeeze page is, on a squeeze page, for instance, I want to provide people with a list of, the 10 worst properties in my neighborhood. I would want to show them 2. And then obviously they would want to see the rest. For them to do that, they will have to sign up. So we give them, piece of the cookie, a piece of the information. And if they really want to see the rest, they have to provide more info. So you're giving them some type of value, and they're more likely to then provide that information as a result. So this is the page you will see when you're trying to build a squeeze page. It looks like a lot, but it's very simple, I promise. Down here, this section right here that says multi-property, this means that we're building a squeeze page to show the visitors multiple properties, and we can have that be whatever we want. So it could be at a specific location, county, city, or whatever, or you could draw a map of the location you want those properties to be, filtered through. So we're going to put, what city should we use today? Let's do Lawndale. Okay, so I'm going to type the city of Lawndale, and you'll get this drop down that just went away. Lawndale, and then you can select whether you want the Lawndale area, the city, the high school. You get plenty of options. We're just going to choose Lawndale city right here, and then it'll be down there. Okay. Or remember, you can draw on the map too, which is pretty cool. Let me actually show you guys what that looks like really quickly. Once you click on that button, you can zoom out, go to the location you want to go. I don't know why we were in San Jose. Got to go down a little bit. So we're going to zoom in right here. So you would click on draw area, and then whenever you click, it creates a point. Okay, and you can kind of select the area you want. If it's a really niche area or a specific section, and then that will be the area that gets used within your search. Okay, I'm going to close this because I still want just Lawndale. So let's say this squeeze page is built to show people, let's say, properties between 750 and 850 in Lawndale. Okay, the properties, this squeeze page will be about the listings between 750 and 850. So that's what we want people to see, and we'll have them see maybe 2 or 3 of those. And if they want to see more, then they will have to provide their info. So city right here, location will be Lawndale. And then maybe we only want them to see single family homes. So I will click on single family right here. And then the style, you can get very specific with this. I don't know what half of these are. Contemporary Spanish, Mediterranean, I can't even say that word. Mediterranean Spanish, whatever. You can have it be Mediterranean. There you go. Thank you. So you can have that filtered through Mediterranean. I'll stop. I'll take that off. So we want to see every single family residence. And the price range, we want to do 750 to 850. I don't know if that's a good range for Lawndale, but I'm pretty sure we'll find some cool stuff with that. So we only want to show properties in this range. Square feet, I'm not going to specify. It doesn't matter, but if you want, you can also add all that. How many beds and bath? Walk score. Let's say we want very walkable places, however that's measured. Options, you can, the sky is the limit. You literally have all the options you can think of. Adult 55 plus, I don't know what that means. Maybe people who live there are 55 and over. So, and then on the top right here, this is an important field because when people click on your link and actually sign up, maybe you want to know where they came from. So if you plan on posting this to Facebook or Instagram or through a email marketing, campaign, you could type that source here so that later on, where your, marketing efforts, where they're really flourishing and when they're not. So if I'm posting this to Facebook, I could just type Facebook here so that later on when my database builds up and I want to only focus on Facebook people, I can search by the source, which would be Facebook, same as a hashtag. And down here, you can also add a hashtag to whoever signs in. So on top of having a source for those contacts, you can also add a hashtag when they get added. So obviously these would be people who are interested in homes in this price range, in the Lawndale area. So I could put Lawndale, I don't know, 750, 850. So they'll have this hashtag added to them whenever they sign up. So later on, whenever I get anyone who's looking for a property within this range or within these criteria we've set, I can type that up. I can type this hashtag up and then reach out to all of those clients when something like that pops up on the market. So it's a very powerful in terms of classifying and categorizing leads based on what they're looking for and how you obtain them. So I encourage whenever you make one of these, just add hashtags because later on, you never know, 10 years down the line, maybe not 10 years, let's say 6 months down the line, a pool property comes up and it's within this range, just how to look for them, okay? And then down here, you can put a cover photo for the thumbnail. So remember, whenever we share to Facebook, it has that cool little image within the link you post. You can choose what that is on here. So what these results are referring to is obviously this the search criteria will generate, search results, and all of those will be properties that have their own photos. And through here, you can decide what photo will be the one they see when they initially see the thumbnail or the link. So it could be, let's see, it could be a recent listing from our agency, the lowest price one, highest price one, a random one, or you can use the photo from a specific listing from the results this will yield. Let's just do a random one. It doesn't matter. And then property views allowed before registration. Now, this is the fun part. This is what makes it a squeeze page. So let's say this will probably generate a lot of different properties. I don't know how many properties meet this criteria, probably a lot in Lawndale, but let's say this right here refers to the number of properties they can look at before they get that pop-up to, provide more info to see the rest. So if I put 1, as soon as they click on the link, obviously they will have to sign in, which would make it a landing page instead, because we're not giving any value before they provide any info. If I put 2, which is what it is by default, they'll be able to see the first one of the list, but then when they click to see the next property, they will have to sign in because they will reach, 2 property views before they're registered. And you can have this be any of these. It could be 3, 5, 10, 50. If you put never, it kind of beats the purpose because you created the squeeze page, but they will never get, the opportunity to sign up for other stuff you might have for them. So let's do 3. Okay, I'll let them see 2 properties, and then on the third one, they will have to sign up, or at least they'll get the pop-up. If they're smart, they can actually bypass that, but yeah, it's not very obvious. So we'll do 3. Once you fill all of this stuff in, you don't have to put anything in here. You would just click on generate link. And once you do that, these will populate. So based on all of this information you put on there, it will yield into, these 2 links. These 2 things are the same exact links. So just use the short one. It'll do the job. So I'll copy this to my clipboard. and I'll open up a new tab and we'll actually go to that link it generated. All right. If it will load. All right, so what's gonna happen when they click on that link, they're gonna get taken to my website, okay? And they will have, oh wow, it looks like it's only 3 properties in Lawndale that match our criteria. So that's perfect. So let's say they click on the first one right here and they view details. Oh, I think I clicked on something else. Let's click on view details. There we go. It'll open up a new page. They'll be able to see this, check all the photos, like or not like this listing. They scroll down and then maybe they want to see another property. It does not have to be the properties within the list. It just has to be any number of attempts from them to click on, another property. So this was number 1. If I click on the second one, that will load up. They'll be able to see all the information about that property. My internet is struggling right now with these photos. Cool. Let's just say this is property 2. Awesome. And then they scroll down and maybe they want to see a third one, or maybe the third one on the list. They'll click on here and voila, they will have to sign in to see the remainder of, the list or any other property. They'll have to put their email, or they can sign in with Facebook or Google, which will automatically provide all that information for you. Once they put this stuff in here, they will, I'll just put my email. Boom. And then once they put their email, this is optional, but KvCore will not tell them that, but they'll be able to put their phone number also, which will obviously be a good thing so that you can reach out to them via, mobile also and text. So once they put all that stuff in, they can continue and then they will get taken back to see the third listing. Okay. I already made an account with my number, so it wouldn't have worked. But once they do, you'll get all that information in your CRM, and then they will be able to carry on and look at all of those listings. So that is the power of a squeeze page. You give them a taste of the information. If they want the whole thing, they are more likely to sign up and give you that information. Okay. So that is how you build a squeeze page. I'm actually amazed there's only 3 properties that match this criteria there. Maybe homes in Lawndale are a little cheaper.
Yeah, I think you went up a little too high.
Yeah. So if we had done maybe 650 all the way to 750, maybe we'll see more. So any changes you make here, you can click on the generate link again, and it'll actually change this. So I'm going to copy. We're going to open up. We'll just use this page right here, and I'll go there. So they still can only see 3 properties. Oh, wow, there's nothing. Man, I really don't know Lawndale. Okay, let's do 450 to 750. There has to be something at that range. So I'll generate the link, and then I'll copy, and we'll go here and we'll paste it. Hopefully there's homes for sale. Wow, I'm probably doing something wrong. There has to be a house in Lawndale between 450 and 750. Interesting. I'm determined to find out. 250 all the way to 750.
Maybe
Single
put
family
less
homes.
criterias in, like take a walkable off.
Oh yeah, you know what? That might be it. It's probably none of them are walkable. That's why. I was like, what? That doesn't make sense. Well, I'll leave it as is. But the points, you get the point. So you can customize all this. You can always change it up and click the generate link again. Once you copy, you can paste this on Facebook, Instagram, wherever you please. And then once they get taken to the link. So let's try one more time. Hopefully that was the reason why. Okay, still not, but we have 1 home in Lawndale at this price, which is very interesting. Okay. Cool. So that is a squeeze page, ladies and gentlemen. And you can do the same thing for single property. Now, the only difference between these two is you can only generate one listing when you're under this tab. So they would have to come on your page, provide their, email or number, and then they'll only be able to see one listing. That kind of defeats the purpose for, squeeze page, because you're not giving them any form of value before they provide that info, but it still acts as a landing page. So let's say you want to promote a property you're selling, and maybe the title could be, check out this home with this crazy bathroom or these crazy tech stuff that you can operate if you buy it. You could put that listing ID on here, or it could be yours or any in your brokerage that you're allowed to promote. Again, the source where you're planning to post this, the hashtag you want to get added once they sign up. And this would not make any sense. It would and it would not. So they can come in and actually see that property you're advertising, and they will get the option to view similar properties or just click on something else altogether. Then you can, change this around and have that be, 3 clicks or 4 clicks, 10 clicks, whatever you prefer. Okay, but they would have already gotten what they came for, and then it's up to Mother Nature to please allow them to click elsewhere to generate that pop-up. But that's why I don't really think of these as real squeeze pages. They're more so landing pages. But once you have all of that info here, just like under the multi-property section, you could just generate, oh, I forgot to put stuff in here. Let's do Facebook again. Oh yeah, obviously you have to put an ID here. So let's say we're looking for this property, just a random MLS ID I had on my iPad here. So once you have that on there, we can generate this link, and then I can copy this, and we'll go ahead and paste that in the search bar. Let's see what happens. So yeah, they will apparently immediately have to sign up. Okay, so the properties we were clicking on here will carry over to this section also, by the way. The reason why it showed it to me right away versus the 2 times like it says down here is because we've already been clicking on the other squeeze page that we created. So it will remember based on, if the same device is accessing the website, it'll know that. Okay, so this will not happen to you unless you're the one playing around with your website. So I'm going to click out of it. So anytime they click outside, it will actually remove that. So that's what I meant by they can actually bypass it. It's not obvious, but if they click away by mistake, they'll still be able to see that information. But whenever that pop-up comes up, it actually resets the sign up pop-up cooldown. So once they click on another 2 properties or 3, or whatever you have it set up as, it will re-ask them again. So you don't have to worry about them just clicking away and never seeing that. So yeah, once they click on that, this is the MLS ID I popped in there. They'll be able to see all of that information. And obviously this is your website. Whatever they do on here, they will just keep seeing your name, even if you're not the listing agents, okay? So that is the single property squeeze page. Let's go back here. You have seller squeeze. This is for to offer a market report. You can put a location on here, and it could be a zip code or whatever you want, a hashtag, a source, generate the link, and then they will be able to see the market report for that zip code. Right here. Okay, this is market report. I'm sorry. This page is actually for the home valuation, I believe. I don't know why it says market report up here and also here, but this one is for the home valuation. And this is the actual market report. Okay, and if we click on history right here, it'll actually show you the stuff you've been building over time, and you can always view them or copy the links and share them again at any point. Okay, and this referring to all the squeeze pages you've made. So if we go back, we're almost done. These 2 are very quick. So that's a squeeze page. Do we know the difference between landing page and squeeze page, and or any questions about a squeeze page or landing pages before we move on? Well, experts looking good.
Not experts, but let's keep moving.
No problem. No problem. We'll be experts one day, I promise. Now we're going to talk about call and text capture. This is really cool. I've played around with this too many times. It's really, really nice. So how do you even explain that? Have you seen those ads that say text, text 1234 to this number to obtain more information about whatever? So this is what that is. I know that made no sense, but basically with your smart number up here, you can set it up to provide pre-written messages, or whatever you want it to show if a certain text is sent to it. Example, let's actually do this, that way you know what I'm talking about. If I add new right here, so this custom code right here is what you want people to text. Let's say you have an open house. Okay, you have a big sign at the door saying open house, and people are driving by, and you want them to be able to see all the information of that listing when they text a certain word or whatever you choose to your smart number. So we could say info. Okay, so whenever someone texts the word info to your smart number, the following down here will happen. This is what that means. I don't have an MLS ID, and well, we can use the other one, but let's do message instead. If it was set to MLS ID, what you would do is just put the MLS ID of your open house or whatever property you're trying to promote. But for the sake of this example, we're imagining an open house. You have a sign and it says text info to my smart number, and then you will see all the information for this property. So I would just copy and paste the MLS ID right here, and then it'll actually generate the address down there because KvCore is attached to your MLS. So once you have that on there, you can see the little X next to it. That'll tell you it's been registered. You can add a hashtag. So whoever texts this code to your number, you can also add a tag to them to come back to them later. So that way you know where they came from. This could be, let's call it TXT capture, because this is called text capture. And if it was for an open house, which for this example it is, let's say the open house is in Long Beach, we could say Long Beach right here. And then obviously the MLS ID will tell me what property in question this was being referred to. Or you could add more details in a hashtag to let you know exactly where that person saw, your smart number. And then down here, you have the option to choose which smart number you want them to text. Now, I have purchased my own smart number, so it will never change. But if you have not subscribed to have your own smart number, it is something that changes. I don't remember how often, maybe once a month or something like that, I believe. But you will see the history of what your smart number has been over time. Because I've bought mine, it's going to be the top one right here, and it'll say agent. Okay, so whenever you text info to my smart number, they will see the information for this MLS ID. Okay, but if you don't have your own smart number, you can choose which smart number you want them to text for you to be able to see. It gets a little hectic if you don't have your own. I encourage, even though it's a paid thing, it's about $27 a month. If you decide to really take the online thing serious and advertise and market online, you want them to reach out to your smart number so you can track all of that data. My smart number is on my Instagram, it's on my Facebook, it's on my YouTube, it's on my personal website, and on my email, campaigns and whatnot. So it's very much worth it when you have all of these avenues you're advertising yourself through, and it can collect all that information and categorize it for you. If you always have a different number every month, it makes it a little tricky. Then you got to go and change it everywhere. It's not fun. So you want to make things more convenient and not more complicated for yourself. So this is for the people who are, who have a lot of places. They have their numbers on and you don't want it to always change. So for me, I'll just have the one I purchased on there, which is this guy. Okay. If I press add right here, that will add that text code to my list. If I was to test this out right now, it will not work because KvCore knows my number. But any of you guys watching right now, I invite you to just type info to this number, and then it'll text you a link to that MLS ID, which is pretty cool. Okay. I'll leave it on here for a second for anyone who's actually trying. But yeah, just text info to this number and it will show you all that cool stuff. Let's see, we're going to click add new again. Okay, I see, yeah, some people are trying. Melissa, try the smart number. I think you texted my personal cell. So make sure you're texting this number right here. Okay, 424-400-6797. And then you will see that information. If I click add new, and let's say info 2 this time, so this is something else you have to text, and I press message, you can basically do whatever you want here. You could say, hey, I have received your message and will get back to you later. Okay, so whenever anyone texts this word or these characters to your smart number, you can choose to display whatever you want. This could be a link, this could be a YouTube video, this could be, typed up information about the open house you're doing. Literally, sky's the limit. You could put whatever you want on here and they will see that message. Okay, and just like with this section, the MLS ID section, you can have a hashtag added to them whenever anyone does this. And obviously you could choose your smart number. And if I click add, now if you type info2 and send that at my smart number, you will see this message right here. Okay, when I found out about this feature, I'm so I'm so nerdy. I actually created a whole thread, a whole information, how do you say, conversation thread, where if you said hello, it would reply, hi, how are you? And then if you said, I'm good, and you can like have it say something else. I did a whole, I wasted a lot of hours on that, but it's a pretty cool feature. You could do a lot of cool stuff using this. One of those quirky tech features for agents. But yeah, that is what this feature is for. And again, it's called call and text capture. That was a lot of information. Do we have any questions about this section right here? Before we move on?
When I texted it, it says reply stop to unsubscribe. And then it says your text to KvCore will not be delivered. Please use KvCore, the KvCore mobile app, or text your contact directly to respond.
Did you send it to this number or your
Yeah.
smart number?
No,
This
that
one?
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay. I'm not sure what you saw. I tested this just before we did the meeting. It's I probably might have to tweak some settings.
It's probably me, don't worry.
No worries, but I'm curious why that happened. I guess I'll get back to you on that, okay? But I don't know if anyone else tried and has seen that. Melissa, maybe you could try info 2 instead. I don't know if that'll go through, but it should work. Interesting. No worries. We'll get back to that and I'll find out why that happened. It's probably settings that I need to tweak. But the concepts, hopefully everyone understood what this is supposed to do. Okay, you can create a text code. Once people text it to your smart number, they receive a pre-written message that you have already put on there. And you can add hashtags, you can edit, or you can delete them or refresh them, okay? So we'll get out of here. And I know we've hit the hour mark, but I just want to talk about the pitch sheets very quickly. It's a really cool thing. You can show prospective buyers and build, confidence in them to use you as their agents. If I go ahead and click learn more, what this does is it creates this really cool infographic thing based on a listing you feed it. So let's say, not a buyer, sorry, a seller. So let's say you have someone who's interested in selling their property, and they're looking around for agents, and they want to know who will best market their property, who has the best resources, who will do the best job for them. You can create a pitch sheet. I'm having a hard time with words today. A pitch sheet to basically illustrate all of the total, active buyers in our office. If you look here, that's kind of what it'll look like. It'll have like how many buyers in total we have in our office, how many buyers we have at whatever price range the property is at, however many buyers we have, in that area, down to, however many people match the criteria that that seller is looking for. So once you get on this page, you have two options. You can only do this through manual listings, okay? And what those are let's go into the listing tab really quickly. If I click on here, this is where you get to see all of the listings within your brokerage and outside of your brokerage. Everything that you can see in your MLS should appear here. Okay, if I go ahead and click on manual listings, this is a place where you can add your own listings, maybe before they hit the market. Maybe you have a listing presentation and you can input all of the property information right here. So we'll take this one, for example, in Sherman Place. This is just a demo one I did. And actually, let's just add one so you know what it looks like. It'll have you put the property address, city, state, zip. I'll just put something random in here. We'll do Main Street. I love Main Street. I actually found out there's a street called 123 Fake Street, which is pretty cool right here. So Fake Street, yeah, it'll populate a lot of the info. You'll just kind of fill all of this in. Yeah, this is not in the scope of my MLS. It's not even in my state. So let's do somewhere else. 123. Let's do West Victoria Street. Okay, we'll press next. And then you can add all of the details for the property. The more you give, the better. It'll make KvCore, work better, the more details you give it. So we'll just do, it's a coming soon listing. Property type, we'll do single family right here. And then I'm gonna skip all this and press next. You can put photos. And let's say the property is for $775,000. That's what we're thinking of listing it at. All right, sorry about that. Yeah, so let's say we're planning to list this for 775. You can put a date on there. Let's put September 30th. Oh. And then if you have it on the MLS already, you could put this on there, but I don't have it listed just yet. So I'm just going to press finish. Okay. So this is that manual listing right here. If I go ahead and click on it, it'll give me more details. Obviously, this is all the info I've put on there. But now you'll see this option next to the listing that says generate pitch sheet. If I click on that, it'll start processing. Usually this should take 10 seconds. I've seen it take a little longer. Hopefully it does so very shortly here. But let's go back here while that's happening. So if I go to the lead engine and then pitch sheet, it's going to give me something like this. It'll create this cool infographic with how many active buyers we have, how many in that price range. For us is going to be 775. And whatever area, for us, it was Long Beach, I believe. So it'll say how many active buyers EXP, my office, has, in that area, and how many in total are looking in that area and at that price range. And it even has this cool sheet of, this database of different people with their emails. Obviously, all of this is going to be barred out. It just shows all of the people who our agents are working with. So let's go back to manual listings, see if that pitch sheet is done processing. It's still processing. It might take a minute, but essentially that's what it will show. Okay. Do we have any questions so far? Anything on the pitch sheet? I don't think this will be done as fast as I wanted to. So we've
My head
covered. Mhm.
I said my head hurts.
Too much information.
No, it's just good stuff.
We learned a lot. We learned a lot. Do you guys actually prefer we talk about one single thing? Because if a lot of these things, I do them so many times. I like to explain them very thoroughly, but I go through them fast sometimes, and that's why I like to have multiple topics. Do you guys prefer just one thing or just different topics where anyone can tune in, and in case you already know about that stuff? I should have like a poll or something. That would be so cool.
Different topics. If you're going too fast, we can slow you down.
Oh, perfect. That works. As long as I know,
we can just go back and rewatch too, because you record it, so that helps.
Definitely. Yeah. And I do these because then again, I can go back to the videos and cut them up, and I could just do landing pages and then just cut out the portion for squeeze pages and so on and so forth. So you guys can always go back and watch those. That's pretty much what I wanted to talk about today. Let's see, maybe the pitch sheet is done. Yes, it's done. So when it's done, it'll say view pitch sheet. You could click on that. It'll open a new page. It'll have your photo and everything, the property in question. So looks like in my office, there's about 5 million active buyers. I don't know how accurate this is, but I trust KvCore. It's just something nice to show, your seller. And then we have almost a little more than 500,000 people at that price range, almost 1,000 in Long Beach. And there's 232 people looking in Long Beach at that price range. You could just show this to, your clients, just so they could be like, wow, oh my goodness, I need to list with this person. So it's a really cool thing. That's a pitch sheet for you. Okay. And yeah, obviously it'll blur all this out. I don't know where this information is from, but I trust that if KvCore is showing this, it's genuine, actual people. I don't think this is accurate. Yeah, maybe it's not accurate, but it's I don't know if it's because of what I put on there, because I just put random stuff. But man, these people are looking for some big stuff. $100 million in Long Beach. I don't know if that exists. Maybe. But yeah, use it at your own risk. Okay, hopefully you don't get 100 million on there. But that is the pitch sheet for you. And you can always go back here. It'll tell you when the last time you ran it, so you can always update that. You could click on the little arrow and generate new pitch sheet. Okay, and that will create a new one for you. Awesome, awesome, awesome. And now we are pretty much done. Before I wrap this up, I want to talk about the future Tech Tuesdays. I've talked a lot about KvCore, and I think rightfully so, because this is very important. I'll talk about KvCore again, but I also want to go more into social media. I want to talk about some YouTube, some Facebook, Instagram, and personal website things, because the KvCore website is cool and all, but you want to be, you want to go above and beyond that and be the best agent that you can be. So you will need a personal website at some point. And I can show how I've designed mine and how I use mine to, advertise my business to more people. So moving forward, maybe the next 2 or 3 Tech Tuesdays, we'll go in depth into each of those social media platforms. And remember, we record these, so you can always come here and look at the old Tech Tuesdays where we are talking about KvCore. Okay. I want to set something up where you guys can ask questions and I can answer, or any classes or any topics that you would want me to cover. I can make videos on those. So I'm working on a page on my website where you could submit that if you wish. But yeah, that's that is what we're looking at in the future. Any requests, recommendations, questions?
Let's just do personal websites as soon as we can. That's
Yeah.
just me. I'll
Yeah.
go with the group though.
For sure. It's something I do want to talk about, and definitely we'll get to it. But yeah, the personal website, I like to think of it as a hub for everything you do, because it will feature your YouTube, your KvCore or KvCore website, Instagram, and everything. It's a place where you can feature all of those different things and make you look like the best agent they've ever seen, ever. So it is very important, and I agree. It's a little bit more advanced, but knowing how KvCore works actually helps a lot, because you can plug in a lot of tools between your personal website and the KvCore website and be more efficient and yeah.
So if someone goes to your KvCore website,
Mhm.
well, can you make them automatically go to your personal website?
No, there's no feature that I know of. There might be well, you can create a separate page on KvCore, like have a custom page on your KvCore website that may have a link to your personal website, but you can't automatically bounce them from the KvCore website to your personal website. I wanted to make that happen, but the thing is, they will not have, the search tools and all of those things that you get with the KvCore website, because that one has your MLS attached to it. So I actually do the reverse. If you go to my website and you click on, let me show you how I have it set up. Maybe this will help you. If you go to here, so I'm still building this. This is just a template, but they have a section when they get on my website. If they're trying to sell or find a new home, they can click get started right here, and it has a nice little paragraph. And then they actually get taken to my KvCore website, because this already has all the tools they need if they need to buy or sell. It already has, your search starts here, or what their home is worth, etc. So that's how I have mine set up right now. Maybe in the future, they'll have a feature where if you go to the KvCore website, it can bounce you to the personal website.
Well, I'm just wondering, like, if you could set it up in a way where if someone puts some information in about themselves in your personal website, that it automatically gets fed to the CRM instead of it having to be someone. Yeah.
It's possible. It's possible using a program called Zapier or Zapier. I don't know if anyone uses that.
I've used it. That's a pain in the butt.
Yeah, but it's once you set it up, you can kind of let it do its thing, but it is possible that way. That's the only way you could connect, outside databases with the KvCore databases. There has to be a middleman. So it's Zapier in that case.
Okay.
Maybe actually I'll add that to the list, because I want to talk about Zapier a little bit more. It's a really cool tool. But yeah, so personal websites, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, very important.
So
We'll
if you
be
have a
talking about
dialer,
those.
if you have a dialer, can you use Zapier to connect to your KvCore to show that you've contacted that person in your CRM?
I don't believe you can do that. You can't transfer the call history.
No, I just
KvCore doesn't
can't.
have that.
Oh, I just don't want to have to dial out through the platform.
Through KvCore?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a little tricky. I think I've thought about doing that too, but you kind of have to either use KvCore or something else. You can't communicate that information across softwares, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Yeah. But if I ever find a way, I will also note that down.
Yeah, figure that out for us. Thank you.
No problem.
Yeah, go
I'm
write
on
that
it.
program, okay?
Yeah, for sure. I'll make it and be a billionaire. Then I won't have to be an agent anymore. Awesome. Anyone else has any questions, requests, ideas? Any way we can help make these better and bigger? All looking good? All right. I think Frank actually left us. So yeah, you guys, thank you so much for listening to me for an hour and a half. Until next Tech Tuesday, I wish you guys a wonderful upcoming week. In the chat, you will find the link to the YouTube channel. And I'll put my contact info right here so that you can reach out to me with any questions anytime. 375-1773. Awesome. And with that being said, you guys have a wonderful day. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Kane.
Good night. Thank you.
For sure. Thank you. Oh, Frank, you're still here. Did not even notice.